good afternoon, folks. Welcome back to the farm. It's a windy day out there today. I had to stop by the pharmacy for a travel clinic there today. We're getting ready to go on holiday here soon. Had to make sure we're all up to date on all our travel shots so nobody gets dengue fever or malaria. Yeah, that's still a thing. That's still very much a thing. But we're getting set up there. Carmen says to me, she's like, Charlotte heard the N-word. And I was just like, say what? She's like, Charlotte heard the N-word. And I'm like, from where? And turns out she was talking about needles. I was thinking about the actual N-word. But anyway, so yeah, that was a bit of a fiasco. One kid handled the needles but screamed, and the other kid is just, seriously traumatized, and she doesn't dig the needles. But I was due for a tetanus shot and a flu shot. Tetanus shot and a flu shot I got today, but I was up to date on the travel vaccination, so I still got hole punched twice. And let me tell you, that tetanus shot, it's been 10 years since I had a tetanus shot, and I didn't realize, that stuff is like battery acid. It does not feel good going in. So I'm glad that one's out of the way, but of course I chose the dominant arm. I don't know why I did not choose the left arm. I should have chose the left arm, but anyways, I'm gonna be stuck here for a few days, I think. Anyways, I just had to quickly do the old costume change, just like Dancing with the Stars, because I got to get outside and start burning off the garden. So at the end of the year, lots of weed seeds there, lots of thistle stands and stuff like that. A guy could just rototill into the dirt, sure, and that would get rid of them until next year, until there was just 10,000 more. But anyways, I'm going to take the tiger torch and burn it all off, burn the seeds off, and then I'm going to work the soil in after that. And in order to do that, I have a fella's coming here this evening who I consider to be not only a coworker, but a friend, and he's a fellow firefighter, and he's up from Fairview, and he moved out to the family farm, I guess. And of course, as there is on every family farm, there's always a bunch of stuff up against the fence and in the bush and stuff. And he's doing a bit of a yard clean out and found a 3-point hitch plow. And I thought, that would be a gem to put behind old Yella there and just drag through that garden, because, we trying to get through that clay layer and just make just a touch deeper soil amendment is really, really challenging. But drop a plow in the ground, that might just be the answer. So we're going to try that. So he's going to drop that off here. We're going to do something as safe as we can possibly do to get that out of his company truck and into the yard without having a wreck. Because if the two of us got in a wreck, there would be we'd have to burn the truck. We'd have to just drive it into the lake somewhere and say, well, I don't know what happened, because it'd be too much to answer for. Well, it's smoky in here. It's now tomorrow, the next day. Friday. It's Friday. Oh, thank goodness it's Friday. TGIF. I had big plans this evening. Well, the wife had big plans. She texted me mid-afternoon and she said, tonight's the night. We got to get the greenhouse down. And I was like, okay. Ooh. Just dread that. Such a pile of work. Or, it can be. Essentially, if there's anything more than half a fart's worth of wind. So she said, what time are you going to be home? I said, 4:45 p.m. And turns out traffic was a nightmare, and I got home at 5. And I wheeled in the yard, and lo and behold, she didn't pull it into the barn here or nothing. She already had the tarp off the big greenhouse, and she already had it folded. So all we had to do was put it on a pallet, get the battery charged on the tractor, and get it off back into the barn. And while I was getting changed, she was out here with a bucket of grain. And she was fetching sheep out of the paddock in behind the barn up into the lambing pen. We talked about this the other day. Because there's a delay in getting the market lambs to market, we brought the replacement ewes, the breeding ewes, up into here. They can eat hay and grain, that's fine. But we turned the market lambs and the cull ewes out into the big field, so they've got like 65 acres or something of leftovers from the cows. They can sit on that for a couple weeks until the man from Tofield gets here, and makes it worth our while. I just see I got a broken board over there. I might have to fix that up before I go in for supper here. That's a pretty good way to get out of a fence. We don't want that. Anyways, where I left off last night, this bad boy. Yeah, look at that. Nice McCormick 3-point hitch plow for the garden. That's the plan, is for the garden. I'm going to hook that on the back of the yellow tractor. I'm a little bit concerned. I think the first run here, I'm going to drop the 3-point hitch down. I'm just going to have to tickle the surface of the soil because I don't know how much tractor you need to pull 3 rows like that. But I don't think Old Yellow is enough tractor. So we're going to sink it in and we're just going to see how deep it can go until we bottom that thing out, until we just like completely, bleh, it can't go no more. But I don't think we're going to, like that's some pretty heavy duty business right there. It would be cool if we sink it right up there and turned everything over, you know, a nice, good, you know, foot and a half deep. But I don't, I don't think Old Yellow's got it. That ain't going anywhere. We were kind of wondering why our count was off. When we sorted sheep, there was a little bit of cross-pollination. One of the little ones that was supposed to go to market ended up with the replacements, and we're like, how is that possible? And then one of the pink marked ones, one of the replacement ewes, ended up out here, and we're like, how is that possible? You got a gaping hole in the fence. Anything is possible. Speaking of anything being possible, man, it's such a gorgeous night out here. Like, it's just beautiful. The temperature's just perfect. Good chore weather. If you really want to work on a project, this would be the time to do it. But you can see sun's gone. That's what we're limited by. Daylight. Whew. It's such a shame because, you know, you can, like I said, you can really work on stuff this time of year without overheating, without freezing your fingers off. It's just a perfect temperature to do stuff. But generally by the time a guy's done work for the day, your window is pretty limited. So that's a couple things done for the day. I'm gonna go in, fetch up some supper, put the kids to bed, and it'll be pitch black. So I'll let you go for now. Hope you're having a fantastic evening. We'll see you tomorrow.